Vilsack. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Illinois, Mr. Davis, for 4 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, thank you. I just want to point out, I sent a letter to your office on March 6th inviting you to come into my district in central and southwestern Illinois to discuss the issue I'm going to bring up today, which has to do with the school nutrition programs. I would love for you to come out and visit some of our school professionals and hear directly from them about the impacts of the implementation of the 2010 Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act. I think we all share the common goal. We want kids to eat healthier. We want to address childhood obesity. But the good intentions have led to some challenges in our school districts, and I've heard from many of our local school districts about how they've once taken profitable parts of their school district portfolio, and because of the new rules and regulations and the lack of participation, school districts like in Monticello, Illinois have now lost $100,000 a year and recently decided to pull out of the school nutrition program, which I don't think is a goal of any of ours. The School Nutrition Association actually said that there are 1.2 million fewer kids that participate in the school nutrition program since the enactment of the 2010 Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act. And we're seeing up to 70% of the fruits and vegetables that are being served being thrown away, which is costing school districts hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I just read an article, I thought it was an April Fool's Day article because it was April 1st, but it was from the Los Angeles Times talking about their second largest school district in the nation in Los Angeles that is losing upwards of $18 million a year because of food waste. And that's only at a 10% estimate. And if you add the 60% to that, that's $28.8, almost $29 million a year that it's costing that one school district. This is why I've written to ask for some flexibility, and I just want to make sure that you saw the language in the omnibus spending bill, and it directs the USDA to come up with some waivers for schools that are having a hard time complying to the new rules and regulations. Los Angeles being one, but Monticello in my school district, Hillsborough, Illinois, Calhoun County, Illinois. And I want to give you some credit, too. When we identified some problems with the protein and grain requirements, your agency did offer some flexibility. Thank you for that, and thank you to my colleague, Christy Nome, for making that issue a priority also. But I want to know, have you developed any procedures for the omnibus language for the school districts to ask for flexibility?
Congressman, my staff, Todd Babbitt, handed me the copy of the Richard P. Russell National School Lunch Act, which talks about our authority, and I'll be happy to give this to you. It's fairly clear from this that we don't have the authority that you would like us to exercise. Statutorily, we simply do not have the capacity to waive, and I'll read from it. The Secretary may not grant a waiver under this subsection that increases federal costs or that relates to A, the nutritional content of meals served, or J, the sale of competitive foods. So if you're looking at waiver authority, this is something that you may want to take a look at. And
so basically the omnibus spending language that we put forth, you can't offer those waivers?
That's correct.
Okay. I have a problem. Who then is going to be able to offer the waivers that we've asked to be?
Well, you'd have to change the law to give me the permission and the capacity to do this. I don't have the power to do it.
We did change the law in the omnibus spending bill. And
you directed us to grant waivers. You didn't give us the authority to do so.
I'd like to point out that this administration doesn't have a problem changing and offering decisions on other legislation, but that's a different subject.
Yeah.
I just would ask you to come visit so that we can get your support and the support of this administration to offer some flexibility to these school districts that they obviously need.
Congressman, may I, Mr.
Gentleman may respond.
Very quickly. First of all, 92% of school districts in this country have either already been certified or in the process of receiving certification under these new standards. So there has been acceptance. I'm not sure that the School Nutrition Association is absolutely correct as it relates to the people that aren't participating, because we've seen a dramatic increase in the school breakfast program. So I wonder about those numbers. And on the issue of food waste, I think we have to be very careful about this issue, and here's why. 30% of all food that's produced in the United States of America is wasted. 30%. It happens in restaurants, it happens in homes, it happens in schools, it happens everywhere. And that's an unfortunate circumstance, and it's something, frankly, I'd be happy to work with you on trying to figure out how to reduce food waste, because it's not only a terrible waste of production, but it also is the single largest part of solid waste in our landfills, and it's a methane producer. So there are many reasons to get focused on that issue.
I would love to work with you on that issue. I would love to work with you on addressing some of the concerns I brought up, but I don't want you to confuse the 85 to 90% compliance rate with satisfaction from the school districts, and I appreciate your ability to work with me on addressing some of those concerns too, sir. Thank you.
Gentleman's time has expired.